It's a no-brainer. The sector across Ontario is 1 million strong. That is a number that demands respect. It demands people to pay attention. It makes us a force working together.
People are the biggest asset in the sector. We know that. We know that's the backbone of the sector.
At ONN's conference 3 years ago, the sector leaders identified renewing our people power as one of the 4 key pillars that we should work together on, and proposed that the sector create a labor force development strategy. When we set off to scope out the possibilities, we found that despite its $50 billion worth of economic impact, our sector's identity as an employer and as an industry had only started to take shape.
The Ontario Nonprofit Network worked with dozens of organizations and hundreds of individuals across Ontario in different regions, in different subsectors, to create a province-wide labor force study. We wanted to find out what challenges we were all facing together and use our collective experience to be able to make change. We learned about 5 key challenges that are being faced by the sector together: diversity in the sector, new leadership skills and competencies, where future leadership will come from, competing to find and keep talent, and rethinking the current model of leadership.
Recognizing these 5 major challenges, ONN then worked with the sector to showcase 6 labor force initiatives that explored strengthening the workforce and leadership in the sector, including diversity and inclusion, labor market information, decent work, pensions, future leadership skills, and the role of peer support in leadership development.
I think what we saw is a lot of nonprofits that were really able to make some change happen pretty quickly. And so I think that nonprofits are maybe more nimble, innovative than they realize.
There's a real opportunity here for a sector-wide pension plan where nonprofits can use their collective size and strength to create a plan that supports nonprofits across Ontario. Pension plans are a key part of a labour force strategy because they help Ontario nonprofits to attract and retain talent.
Well, labour force data is important for all sectors. It's particularly important for the not-for-profit sector because it's not a designated sector that's captured under the North American Industry Classification System, which is what is used by government and business when they're looking at what's happening within different sectors.
So I think there's a huge opportunity for the nonprofit sector to act as a champion of decent work. It's a cross-cutting issue that touches on many of the systemic issues that are facing the sector. And at the same time, there's another dimension where, for many organizations, mission and values align.
It's about economies of scale. Instead of all of us reinventing the wheel, competing with each other, it's about bringing together talent, leaders that can work collaboratively.
I think there's tons that nonprofits could learn from it. I think, one of the things is the collaboration with government and with organized labor. To kind of eliminate the surprises, to get everybody on the same page. That's the first thing. I think the other thing is just to make sure that there's adaptation to stay ahead of where the field is right now. I mean, where the strategy should be going is training people for what's required in 3 or 4 years, not what's required now, because it won't be the same in 3 or 4 years.
The success of the future of human services in the province and outcomes for folks who are being served requires increasing leadership skills on behalf of our members and on behalf of the communities as a whole.
I think in our current labour market, we need to look at opportunities for laddering, for people to move from organization to organization, or even cross-sectorally from, say, arts organizations to social service organizations, to bring their skills with them and to look for new opportunities to build on those skills.
We're wrapping up this phase of the development of the labour force strategy for Ontario's nonprofit sector. Now we have a strategy for the sector by the sector, and we need to put it into action.
I think there's a lot of promising examples and activities going on in nonprofits already, and one of the key opportunities of the nonprofit sector as a sector is to pick up those examples and share them and try to scale them up or propagate them or make them more popular.
Our strategy framework identifies 5 goals to support Ontario's nonprofit labour force development: attract great people, retain the best talent, educate and upskill our staff, effectively forecast supply and demand,
as well as develop the partnerships necessary to sustain the strategy.
I think the solutions to our labor force challenges will come at a sectoral level, where we're looking for opportunities and we're looking to address systemic issues as a sector.
Can't expect a competent and qualified workforce just by magic. So it's got to be intentional and it's got to be systematic.